The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, I'm Andy MacNeil, host of the Puck Portfolio here on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. I'm here on weekdays to provide NHL projections, picks, and betting advice so you can make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bets, good old Canadian sportsbook. You can check them out via the link in the description below. They offer some great odds on the next day's NHL games. And of course, it's Friday, so we're going to be looking ahead to Saturday's NHL odds. But I do have a few things I want to talk about in regards to Friday's four-game NHL slate. Of course, Thursday did not go as planned. The dogs were not barking, at least not for me. On Thursday, made 4 bets. The Minnesota Wild, they got smoked by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Looked like it was going to be a game for a little bit, but unfortunately got a great number, plus 140 on the Minnesota Wild. They closed as a much smaller underdog, but they did not get the job done versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Elsewhere, had a very small bet on the Chicago Blackhawks to take down the Buffalo Sabres, who have been struggling offensively and were struggling offensively for a large portion of that game until things kind of broke open there. Did not win that bet, clearly. The Montreal Canadiens, they did not show up versus the Ottawa Senators. Very, very poor first period, but they managed to stay in it. It was just 2-1 after the first period, but the Sens really started to pull away later in the game. Obviously, the Canadiens were playing their 6th game in 9 nights, so it was a little bit risky, but they were a big dog, a little bit of a bigger dog than I thought they should be. Unfortunately, another bet there did not work out. And finally, the Calgary Flames had a 2-0 lead on the Toronto Maple Leafs, but a bit of a role reversal here as the Maple Leafs, who have blown a lot of multi-goal leads as of late, managed to come back, tie the game, and started to take control. Calgary did score a tying goal, made it 4-4, but that goal was quickly called back. And they were not able to get another one. So yeah, 0-4, golden sombrero. Hasn't happened too often. And if I was a total square, I'd say, hey, it was bound to happen. We were hot. But look, whether you're hot or cold has no bearing on the outcomes of future games. So that had nothing to do with it. We've been running hot throughout the month of January, really October, November. December wasn't a great month, but it wasn't a terrible month by any means. And January's been another great month. So we've been running hot pretty much all season long. I said I was going to provide an updated look at the betting record. I'm going to wait and do that on Monday. It's just been a bit of a hectic week. Obviously, I'm by myself here today. Don't have Jake along with me producing the show as I usually do. So yeah, I'm flying by the seat of my pants, but going to try to put together a good show here for you today. In fact, I know I did. I know I put together a pretty good show for you today. So drop a like on this video if you haven't already. I know some of you are great at doing it as soon as you tune in. And subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel if you have not already. It's been a great month for subs, views, everything has been going really well. And the bets have been winning up until Thursday's setback. So we're going to try to get things back on the right track here on Friday. We've got 4 games: New Jersey at Columbus, the Detroit Red Wings at the Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Islanders at the Chicago Blackhawks. Of course, the Devils still very injured. Andre Palat, Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton. Timo Meier is back. Brendan Smith out of the lineup. They are very injured right now against the Columbus Blue Jackets, missing a couple of important players in Patrick Laine and Zach Werenski as well. But the Columbus Blue Jackets are a little bit healthier now than they were in the last little bit. So my model, which we're going to pull up right now, has the Devils as a minus 162 favorite. So there actually is a little bit of value there on the Devils if you shop around. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a bet here on this one just yet. But there are some shops that are showing minus 150. So it's Devils or nothing for me right now. Of course, looking ahead at the Detroit Red Wings and the Carolina Hurricanes, tough test for Detroit. They've been doing pretty well lately. 39% chance at making the playoffs last I looked. Just a couple of weeks ago, they were down around 12%. So things really starting to turn there for the Red Wings, and that's a good thing considering they made a big move by acquiring Patrick Kane. Of course, he's out at least for another game, so they won't have him versus the Carolina Hurricanes. My model thinks the Hurricanes should be a minus 190 favorite. And a minus 180 favorite. That's what it thinks the Florida Panthers should be. And that's the game that I want to zero in on here. I've got a player shot prop that I like, and I haven't talked about any of these this season because I really like to to actually provide some, more context. A lot of the time, it's just sort of a numbers thing, where there's an off-market price at a certain sports book, and I'll take that price because it's the best price in market on a play that I want to make. And that's kind of the case here. And ironically enough, NorthStar Bets, our great sponsor, which once again you can check out via the link in the description below. They've got a great price on a player that I think has a very good chance at going over their shot total, 2.5 on Friday night. So as I said, Minnesota got smoked by Tampa Bay. But I think the big story here is Alexander Barkov. He is not going to play after missing Wednesday's game with a lower body injury. Barkov, he's day-to-day right now. He didn't participate in the team's optional skate this morning, in which only 11 players did participate in. And normally, I'd look here, and I think the train of thought would be to suggest looking at the guy that's getting elevated up into the lineup. And maybe he will have some success here while Barkov's out, however long that may be. But it's Anton Lundell. And, my God, he's got 2 goals and 12 assists in 40 games this season. His ice time isn't going to increase all that much, maybe a couple of minutes. I'm not sure even if the overall level of skill that of the players that he'll be playing with is really all that different. Yeah, Sam Reinhart is great. He keeps scoring. Maybe Lundell will just be focused on getting him the puck more than anything else. But I think, and has been historically the case, when Barkov is out of the lineup, they lean on Sam Bennett a lot more. They don't really alter his place in the lineup very often, I don't think, but his ice time jumped a lot in the last game, and both of the last games were overtime games. So he went from 16:35 to 20:15 with Barkov out of the lineup. He has 3 or more shots in 6 out of his last 8 games. Minnesota ranks 20th in shots against per 60 minutes this season, 29.6, but they've allowed 32.6 shots when playing the second half of a back-to-back. And in 3 of those their 4 last games on the second half of a back-to-back against some pretty good teams, they allowed 33 plus shots, 40 or more in 2 of those games. So the Panthers, I mean, they generate more shots per 60 minutes than anybody else in the NHL. They're the 3rd best team in expected goals. So they're really, really putting it to teams offensively right now. And you can bet Sam Bennett over 2.5 shots at minus 106 at NorthStar Bets, which is the best price in market by quite a bit. As far as I can tell, the best you'll find elsewhere is minus 115. But most sports books are listing Bennett at over minus 130 or minus 135. So it's a steal at minus 106. I'm betting minus 106 on Sam Bennett to go over 2.5 shots tonight versus the Minnesota Wild. You can get minus 115 elsewhere. Like I said, that's probably the best price that you'll find elsewhere. So that's where I like it up into. I don't know why you would want to bet it at minus 130, really. It's not much of a steal there. But this one here, I think there's a big advantage here getting this much line value versus what other sports books have at NorthStar Bets. Minus 106 on Bennett to get over 2.5 shots. I'm risking 1.06 units on this one to win 1 unit. I just think the importance that they're going to bestow on him for this game, the important role is going to really help him hit that target. So looking for Bennett to get at least 3 shots tonight, and that's my only bet for Friday. I've got 3 bets for Saturday right now. Things just opening up here this morning. Obviously, I like to get out in front of things, so I do have 3 bets that I like here. Yeah, let's go. All right. The Philadelphia Flyers plus 121 unit. The Flyers played arguably their best game of the season on Thursday, defeating the Dallas Stars 5-1. But they just didn't just beat the Dallas Stars. They destroyed the Dallas Stars. They own 65% of the shot attempts against a team that ranks among the top 8 teams in shots and expected goals. The Philadelphia Flyers own 70% of the expected goals in Thursday's game. Big thing here for the Flyers was that Sean Couturier and Jamie Drysdale, who were both questionable, but they both did end up playing against Dallas. So the Flyers, there was a shift in the odds after we did the show yesterday. I had the Dallas Stars up in the minus 130s for a projection because of those players that were questionable, 2 very important players to this Flyers team. And obviously I had to make a change there and grabbed a little bit of the Flyers, thankfully before things moved, but it was such a quick move. I like the Flyers here at plus 120. I think you look, the Flyers closed at plus 110 to plus 122, mostly plus 115, plus 110 across the market. And now they're hosting another Central Division team, another top Central Division team, the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday. And NorthStar Bets has the Flyers listed at plus 120. So my model rates Colorado a bit lower than Dallas, especially in their current form. And over the last month, I don't think there's a lot separating the Flyers and the Avalanche. Of course, name brand value, the Avs have a lot more, but Colorado, they've been the 10th best team in expected goals percentage over the last 15 games, roughly a month, and they've posted the 12th best goal share, so pretty good. The Flyers, though, they've been the 13th best team in expected goals over the last month, and they've posted the 13th best goal share. So really not a lot separating these two teams. And I like the Flyers here at plus 120. That's pretty much where I'd cut it off for a 1 unit play. I like it in the high teens for a little bit of a smaller bet, but according to the model, the Flyers should be a plus 108 underdog. The Avs, they've been good, but I don't think they're any better than the Stars. And look how the Flyers were able to play against the Dallas Stars. Maybe this is a good time to back the Flyers. I think it is. So I am on Philly 1 unit to win 1.2 units. Now, the Penguins, they've been a hell of a lot better than the Rangers over the last month, scoring almost 59% of the goals. They're actually tied with the Oilers for the best expected goals percentage over the last month in all situations. Vegas defeated the Rangers 5-1 on Thursday. Definitely a bit of a shocker considering, Jack Eichel out of the lineup, just announced, and the Rangers caught quite a bit of steam there. I didn't think the Rangers were a good bet, regardless. Like I said on the show on Thursday, and that ended up being the case. Unfortunately, I did not see Vegas coming away with this big of a win. Otherwise, I would have bet the Vegas Golden Knights, I guess. But they're hurting. They posted a 44.5% goals share over the last month. They've ranked 23rd in goals, expected goals over the last month. Jack Eichel, like I said, is out week to week. So is Shea Theodore and William Karlsson, among other players. The Vegas Golden Knights are hurting right now. I think this is a good spot to bet the Pittsburgh Penguins at minus 104, the current price at NorthStar Bets. My model thinks the Penguins should be a minus 117 favorite, so there's quite a big discrepancy here, but I'm going to risk a little over a 3/4 of a unit to win 3/4 of a unit on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like I said, they've just been playing great lately, really turning it around, and hopefully they can take advantage of a Vegas team that is very much hurting right now. But speaking of the Rangers, they are in Los Angeles on Saturday, and this looks like the buy low spot that I've been kind of waiting for here on the Kings. Los Angeles, they have not been great as of late with a 51.5% mark in expected goals and a 48.5% goal share over the last month. But on the season, they're one of the best teams in the NHL. And things I think are going to turn for them offensively at some point here soon. Los Angeles has somehow managed to lose 10 of their last 11 games. New York, they're losers in 5 of their last 7, though, and I'm willing to take a chance on the Kings here at minus 110. I think that LA, according to the model, should be priced around minus 125, and I think if you look back at their odds history throughout the season, and we're not going to throw away all the good things that they did for the better part of 3 months to start the season. It's just been a little bit of a tough stretch for this Kings team. I think this is a good buy low spot against a Rangers team who hasn't been very good. They've been struggling. I can't see why anybody would want to take minus 110 on the Rangers on the road in Los Angeles. Given how they've bet the Kings, I mean, the market has really shown a penchant for betting the Kings. They've been betting on this turnaround. I haven't been, but this is where I'm going to start. The season's about 60% of the way done, so we've got quite a few games still to bet on, and I'll be here each day on weekdays on the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel to provide picks, betting advice, projections, you name it. Just conversation about sports betting and hockey to help you make informed bets now and in the future. I'm Andy MacNeil. Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Puck Portfolio. If you didn't already, drop a like on the video. Please subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out NorthStar Bets via the link in the description below. And also check out all the great content we have over at CanadaSportsBetting.ca. Of course, big UFC event in Toronto this weekend. I know the gang is covering it over at CSB.ca. So talk to you guys throughout the weekend, maybe on Twitter. And I'll see you all on Monday. We'll have Jake back for a live stream, and things will be back to normal. Good luck with your bets this weekend. Good luck with your bets on Friday. Take care. Have fun.